Tall Grass by Giovanni Acevedo. She sat quietly in her rocking chair by the dining room table, staring out into the tall grass beyond the edge of her property. The sun was quickly setting, and she knew it would be back. The darkness slowly crept from the horizon and swallowed the world around her. Her eyes slowly darted back and forth between the silent tall blades of grass. The breeze gently blew through them, making the individual blades dance under the fading moonlight. There was something moving just beyond her line of sight. She adjusted her glasses and squinted her eyes. She could see a pair of dead, emotionless eyes glinting in the moonlight. Her right hand gripped the shotgun that lay across her lap as she slowly rose to her feet from her rocking chair with a soft groan. She knew it was time to face this thing, to face this creature that had been terrifying her for the last couple of weeks. She walked over to the back sliding glass door and opened it slightly. She paused for the span of a heartbeat and drew in a deep breath of cold night air before continuing outside. The grass felt cold and damp underneath her feet and in between her toes. She lifted the shotgun to hip level, now holding it with both hands. "Come on now! This ends now! Come here and face me, creature!" she screamed, her voice slightly cracking with fear. The beast that hid among the tall grass slowly rose, its dark silhouette towering over the 6-foot blades of grass. It let out a small exhale, its warm breath forming a trail of mist against the cold night air. It stood motionless, looking at her underneath the dying moonlight. She looked up in disbelief as the creature gradually made its way to the edge of her property line and stared at her, its eyes as black as the night around them. She raised her shotgun towards the beast as it raised its arm and launched at her. The sudden noise startled the sleeping birds that were hidden amongst the tall grass as they all took flight into the night sky. The moonlight fell upon fresh blood slowly trickling onto the green grass that covered her property. Her hand trembled with fear. Her breath was erratic from the adrenaline that coursed through her veins. She slowly lowered the weapon as she looked at the creature that lay dead before her. Tears streaked down her cheeks as she walked back towards her house. She reached the sliding door and took one last look at the nightmare that was laying on the edge of her property, unmoving, lifeless. A swaying in the tall grass caught her eye right before she turned to go back inside her home. She stopped, frozen with fear, as she saw another pair of the same dead, emotionless eyes staring right back at her from within the tall grass.